G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and we've been keeping chickens since 2006. That's 13 years ago now. Fairly long time. But for about a 6-month period last year, we didn't have any chickens. We had to go sort of cold turkey, for want of a better term. No hens meant no eggs. And we found it tough going without our feathered friends. In fact, tougher than I even expected. So it got me thinking, why do we love keeping chickens so much? And I've boiled it down to 5 reasons why we love keeping chickens. And I'm going to share them with you now. So let's get into it. We started keeping chickens again only just a few months ago after our flock was wiped out by a fox or wild dog attack. This unfortunate incident forced us to rethink, redesign and reinforce our defences against such predators. During the last half of 2018, we strengthened our existing free-ranging boundary fence and retrofitted an electric fence to the outer perimeter. I'll be uploading a video of the complete electric fence installation soon. I'm also nearly finished building our new chicken run. This one will be snake, crow, fox and goanna proof to ensure our birds are safer than ever and nothing can rob our eggs. Speaking of eggs, that's reason number 1. Eggs. You've probably heard that eggs are a complete food. They're high in protein and they're healthy to eat. We could live off eggs as our main source of protein along with our own homegrown fruit and veg. Even though it would get a little boring, it could still be done if we really had to. And that's great to know from a self-sufficiency, frugal living or prepping point of view. How many chickens should you keep? Well, that's a whole new video because there are many variables to that question. But in general, I would say keeping 1 chicken or a good laying hen per family member, if you're all like eggs, is a good way to start and should keep you with enough eggs. Eggs aren't very expensive to buy, and I know there are farmers out there, some totally organic and free range, who produce eggs as ethically as they can while still trying to make a reasonable living. Plus, without farmed eggs, there simply wouldn't be enough eggs in the world to keep up with demand. So I do get it, but there are also farms out there that treat chickens like little egg-laying machines, void of any pain or feelings. Keeping hens in small cages with one goal only, and that's to make as much profit as possible. See, keeping egg-laying chickens is easy, often easier and cheaper than most cats and dogs. And a well-bred egg-laying hen will consistently lay 1 egg a day for 2 to 3 years. It's not my responsibility to prop up farmers or support the world egg market for that matter, when I can easily produce my own egg supply and at the same time give some hens the happy life they deserve. We found going back to buying our eggs very frustrating. First, we had to try and source free-range eggs that were farmed free-range because some free-ranging farms are more like big sheds and or stock their properties to the max so hens have little space anyway. Also, we often found it hard to find a carton of egg that didn't have some broken or soiled in some way. In the end, it became a real sick joke between Nina and I going into the supermarket or shops to try to open a carton and find one that didn't have one broken inside. In fact, just this week here in Australia, there was an egg recall after another salmonella poisoning outbreak, and a similar recall was issued towards the end of last year. It's not surprising to me that store eggs are becoming contaminated and unsafe to eat. I doubt that enough people along the food production line from farm to transport to supermarket and shelf stacker really care. But when our own hens lay an egg, it's always special and handled carefully when collected freshly from the nest, stored in the kitchen and gratefully used with the respect it deserves. Lastly, we noticed the taste between our eggs and the commercially produced ones. Our eggs have a richer, deeper flavour, and often the yolk in our eggs are a deeper orange. I think the happier bird and varied diet produces a tastier, healthier egg. Reason number 2, green waste. Collectively, the world throws millions of tonnes of green waste into landfill when it could otherwise be either composted down or fed to animals. Instead of throwing our green food waste in the bin, we collect all our green scraps and they either go to the chickens or in the composter. It's amazing how much food scraps a family can gather in just a few days, and this can help make the commercial chicken feed last heaps longer, saving money. But not only that, hens love variety, so the feed going to them gives them a variety along with a small free-ranging area, keeps them happy and entertained and healthy. Foods like old bread, even if mouldy, lettuce, fruit, and even cooked eggs go to the hens and gets turned into eggs and chook poo. Reason number 3, manure or fertilizer. Chicken poop is one of the best fertilizers, if not the best, that you can use in your garden. It's high in nitrogen and phosphorus, which is necessary for good, strong, healthy plant growth. So it's especially good for the vegetable garden. A little goes a long way too. Just a handful of this old dry manure sprinkled around the base of a plant is usually enough. When you're growing a lot of plants, it's handy to have a source of free fertilizer. Just a few hens can produce a reasonable amount of fertilizer, but when we had 20 plus chickens, we had plenty of free fertilizer to go around the garden. Just remember not to use it fresh, directly on or close to plants, as it can burn the roots and do some damage. Reason number 4, pest controller and garden tiller. Chickens are excellent at controlling pests and also tilling the soil. They're so good at turning the soil and digging that we keep our hens out of the vegetable garden and orchard because they can also cause a bit of damage, which means we miss out on some of the benefits that other gardeners with chickens do enjoy. Nevertheless, our hens do get to roam a large portion of our property, and this does help to keep pests down, like grasshoppers, before they migrate onto our food garden. Chickens eat a lot of weeds and grass too, so they can be handy for larger areas at keeping the growth under control, requiring less mowing and weeding by hand. Reason number 5, pets and companions. Chickens, well, they might not retrieve a ball like a dog can, but they can be really great pets and companions. Some hens like to be picked up occasionally and gently patted, and others will keep a safe distance. However, most chickens will warm to their owners once they get to know you. And the more time you spend with your hens, the more you realise how intelligent they really are. People love the cute curiosity of cats, and chickens have a similar nature. They're very curious animals and quick learners with a good memory. So the notion that a hen is just a bird that's only good for egg laying couldn't be further from the truth. And that's it. If you're thinking about keeping chickens but have heard that it's pretty cost prohibitive, such as setting up the run and coop, don't listen to that. There are plenty of low-cost options available and DIY options. So if you've got an inkling about keeping chickens, get into it. Also, if you are keeping chickens, can you expand on my 5 top reasons for keeping them? If you can, whack them down in the comment section below, because I'll be keen to read them. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.